don't you apply for a new radio job? No offense, James, but I don't think you understand what happened to the business. I make more money. I make more money doing this and putting out my podcast than I would make in radio these days. Um, when Imus was retiring, WABC wanted to hire me, and they wanted to pay me $100,000 a year. They said that's all we have. Now you might think to yourself, "Wow, $100,000 a year would be a sweet living." Yeah, I'm not poo-pooing the money, but the problem is 100,000. Wait for it. My agent got at least 10%, so now we're down to 90,000. Then I would have to pay Carl. I would have to pay Vic because it was that time, and possibly some Sherrod. So out of the 90 that I had left, I probably would have had to at least give up 40 of that for my guys at least. I'm just doing quick numbers, okay? So don't hold me to it. So now I'm doing I'm taking over for Imus in a pressure cooker of a situation, and I'm making about $50,000 a year before taxes. That's what happened to the business. And so I said no. And then the guy came to me 6 months later after I think he hired Bernie and Sid to do mornings. But I was the first choice. That is the truth. That is the truth. And maybe they ended up paying them more. I have no idea. I could just speak for my experience. And then the guy's name was Chaz, I think. Chaz. Good guy. Really good guy. I remember me and Carl were walking up 72nd Street. We were going to that dive bar, Malachi's, which is on 72nd and Columbus. We're going to have a couple wobbly pops. Actually, Carl was going to drink some bourbon and lubricate his throat with a beer. And I was having a couple beers with Carl. And right before we walked in, phone rings. It's Chaz. He's like, "Oh, I just need you on this station. I just need you on this station." He goes, "What about 10 a.m. to noon?" And the podcast was doing okay at that point. I look at Carl. I'm like, "Not bad. We could promote our podcast. This is not a bad thing." He goes, "Look, you could do it from the beach house. I don't even need you in the city. I don't need you in the studio. What do you say? 10 a.m. to noon." I'm like, "Chaz, all right. Less stress, less pressure. Don't have to do Fridays. I could do it from the beach." I'm like, he goes, "One problem." I go, "What's the problem, Chaz?" He goes, "I can't pay you." I'm like, "What?" "I can't pay you." So he wanted to do what's called a revenue share. So then my agent at the time, he was looking up how much money they make at ABC between the hours of 10 a.m. and noon, and the money was horrendous. I'm like, "Chaz, I can't do it. I can't do radio for free." So long answer to that guy, why don't you apply for another radio job? The radio business is in the toilet. It's safe to say I make more money just fooling around, turning on a live stream and doing a podcast. So there you go. I'm still open to it. I still got agents. They still talk to people. Recently, Spotify was interested. They like what I'm doing with these live streams. They think there's something here. They like the feel of it. They think it's unique and a little different. But I haven't officially got an offer, but they talk to them, and the problem is they want exclusivity with a lot of their stuff, and I don't think I reach enough people for that. So those discussions are just kind of sitting there, to be honest with you. Wouldn't that have grown the heck out of the podcast? Doing the 10 a.m. to noon? Yeah. No, well, I don't know. I mean, AM radio, maybe. I couldn't get past the fact that we were going to do it for free. So maybe that was a dumb thing. I don't know. But that's kind of insulting. We want you on our station, but we can't pay you. We could offer you a revenue share of the money we bring in.